Alrighty, part 2. Like I said, I am condensing this for all the people out there that are looking up gallbladder stuff and trying to find endless videos on like what to do. I'm not necessarily going over what to eat. This is part 2 of my wellness journey to get to this point. So trying to keep the video short. So previous video, I mentioned I was on O-type diet, or more like a paleo diet. I do feel that my body doesn't like grains. I'm not gluten or intolerant like in the celiac kind of way. But when I do have wheat, and it's like maybe the bad kind of wheat, just like a straight up, like something like a Twinkie or a Safeway cake, my eyes get really, really puffy. Like I wake up like someone punched me in the face with just no bruises. So I get swollen eyes from wheat, or I itch, or my face just gets like puffy, like chubby puffy. And so maybe some sort of water retention from it. I have no idea why. But in the meantime, I came across the whole carnivore sphere of nutrition, and I was already kind of paleo, and I figured, hey, why not? But the only problem with listening to gurus online, and I should have had a coach a long time ago, or at least seen like a naturopathic doctor for hormonal health. But, I'm always trying to save that dollar, and like, I can figure this out myself, when I swear, like from the ages of 20 to 25, I should have figured all this stuff out with a professional. But, I did have a mistrust of professionals. And the last time I saw someone for my menstrual health, I was 19, and she said to have a baby. And it's like, that's not what you say to a 19-year-old girl with endometriosis. Like, maybe you should just have a baby to help it. And you know what? I've had 2 babies, and I still have like debilitating cramps. So it did get better. Some aspect got better, but not really, right? Like, I know that my period is not as bad as it was when I was like 19 years old. But I don't know, maybe because I'm like older and wiser now, and I get it more, opposed to just being like teenager and flying off the seat of your pants and just like, oh my God, these cramps, and just like in a ball on your bed screaming, and like, like it could be a chaotic time in people's life being a teenager, and going through that, and not having that wisdom that I have now to like, okay, I'm going to feel like this. This is how I'm going to set up my day. Right. So in the meantime, I started doing carnivore, and I tried. It was so difficult. It was so difficult because obviously I had candida, and I'm fighting against organisms that want sugar so bad, and it was just terrible. And the reason why is because I never took electrolytes. Like, I've listened to a handful of gurus, and a lot of them don't mention electrolytes, and it's so important to do that. So this is during the time I was doing keto. I still had my ox bile. I was hiking lots. And I still felt like I had the metabolic health of someone who was like 250 pounds, woman of 5'4". I'm 5'8.5" though. But like, I just felt like I just couldn't do fitness. Sorry, I'm not trying to insult anyone out there that's 250 and 5'4" or whatever. But meaning, I had a huge problem with wanting to hike. Like, I'm talking about someone who just didn't exercise and say, hey, go hike that mountain, and they're going to be huffing and puffing. And I'm like, I do fitness like 5 days a week, and I was huffing and puffing on an average like elevation mountain, nothing hard. So I basically wanted to like correct that. So I didn't know what was going on. So kind of gave up on the carnivore, and I went, would you not believe it, I went high carb, low fat. As well as, people like Healthy Emmy advocates for this type of diet. So I wait, now hold that thought. I didn't do that yet. I came across this person online, a health coach. He has his videos, but I almost didn't find his videos. And his name is Antonio Romano, and he is the Keto Excellence Program. And so I've looked at already tons of keto people at this point. Sean Baker, Michaela Peterson, like all these types of people, Frank Tufano, like all that kind of stuff. I love Frank. Frank's a nice guy. But I did some small work for him, which is hilarious. Artwork. So anyways, Frank Tufano and these guys, all these people, like they had great advice, but I technically needed to be like coach, because even if a person is advocating a diet that's really good for you, if you yourself have any sort of anomalies, like you're not a 25-year-old girl with no health problems that was a gymnast her whole life, and you discover the carnivore diet and it was the best thing ever. I'm not that person. You're not that person. You're not like a 26-year-old young man who has his gallbladder, who didn't live around smokers, doesn't drink alcohol, and then discovers the carnivore diet and is like a shining example, right? It's like, that's the only thing that gurus feel is missing, is that when you try a diet from these people, and people who are, you know, some of these people are good like 15 years younger than me, right? It's like you end up trying to follow their advice and stuff starts malfunctioning, it stops working. And so, long story short, I'm trying to keep this short. I discovered Antonio Romano. I think for $50 he had a PDF with like crap tons of information on how to follow a keto diet, his program. And so I bought the program and I followed it. I did for 3 months, and I had things corrected, but things not corrected. And so I thought, well, you know, I guess I'm just not cut out for this diet. So I flipped from his program after 3 months, and I had no changes in my body, like none. Not even metabolically, I'm trying to think of the things that got better. Oh my gosh, it seems so long ago now. My skin and hair got better, and then my eyes weren't so yellowing. They were more clear. And, but then at the same time, endometriosis is rock bottom the same. Digestion was the same. Constipation was so bad. I'm so sorry to say that on camera, but, it was really, really bad. And so I'm like, okay, I guess this diet is not for me. So I flipped to like healthy Emmy's type diet, and I did high carb, low fat. And that was a monster diet in disguise. I felt like I was starving. I didn't do her program, but I felt like what started off as like a half a cup of oatmeal for breakfast, like no fat in it, just say berries, no sugar. Like, you know, I wasn't eating sugar on this diet. I wanted to just use natural fruits or whatever. What started off as like a half a cup of oatmeal turned to like 1.5 cups of oatmeal in about 2 weeks, because I was removing meat. Now, the only time I ate meat was on weekends, because I knew what happened on a vegetarian diet. I would never let myself do that again. So I made sure I had steak, like red meat, Saturday, Sundays. And then during the week, I add this like clean, high fiber, low fat diet. Holy smokes, you should have seen my body in 3 months of this program. I had the worst, my stomach. I have before and after pictures as well. Like I can show them in a caption, either here or here, once I edit this video. But what happened was, I just completely was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I can't lose the fat off my waist. I have inflammation. My endometriosis feels like it's still the same. And I'm like 44 at the time. And it's like, I want to hit menopause and just get this over with. Like, I'm so sick of this hormonal shit, right? So thank God that the hormonal stuff doesn't affect me mentally. But I did found that when I went that type of eating, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't know. It affected my mental health in some shape or form, probably because I wasn't getting enough fat. So all of a sudden I get an email or an Instagram message from Antonio Romano about a follow-up call. And I never really ever reached out to him. I just bought his PDF, but he was basically checking back with people who have, downloaded his PDF. And so I got on the program, and pretty much was the best thing could have happened to me. Now I'm endorsing him, but I'm not in league with endorsing him. I'm just saying, like, the regimen this guy put me through was astounding. So this is going to be in part 3, because it looks like I need a part 3, and I want to cut this video off at 10 minutes. So the next video will be my journey with Antonio Romano.